akin to the healing light herself, who emanates warmth and heeds the call of those in need, we aid the suffering in body and spirit throughout Galarian. The priests of Sarenrae are willing to help anyone, no matter the faith of the one in need. Each plea must be heard. Every misfortune deserves compassion, be it a peasant seeking a blessing for the harvest or a murderer seeking repentance the night before their execution. Sometimes the mercy of Solar Flame Goddess is the last thing that can save one's soul from ruin. We have no right to withhold it from the truly repentant. How is Sarenrae worshipped? Many worship Solar Flame Goddess in her temples. Some make the pilgrimage to the Everlight Oasis, but even those who do not serve the goddess directly rarely shun the festivities dedicated to her, the Sunrout Festival for one. What are the temples of Sarenrae like? Sarenrae's shrine are often open to the sky and to the goddess' lives, bringing sunlight. Her light fills the temple, enshrouds the parish in warmth, and grants its blessing to all in need. In Kalesh, crowds gather during the services so that all may feel the blessing of the goddess. The most ingenious devices are constructed by some of the faithful to please the goddess. I have seen the temple of Sarenrae which housed a complicated array of mirrors, all to direct the light of the sun to the altar. Tell me of the Everlight Oasis. I've never been there, but the stories say it's a wondrous place, sacred to Sarenrae's faithful. The oasis is located in Zelshabar, which lies in Kazmaran. Pilgrims from throughout Galarian travel there, seeking the goddess's blessing. Zelshabar is a satrapy of the Empire of Kalesh, situated on the edge of the Empire's imperial lands. Its claims to fame is that it is the location of the Everlight Oasis, a site of pilgrimage for followers of Sarenrae. According to legend, the water of the Everlight Oasis are imbued with healing properties, and anyone who bathes in them shall be cured of any ailment. Trishan smiles in thought. Just imagine a place where people from all around the world come to gather to worship. What story they must share? What is the Sunrout Festival? There we go. The Sunrout Festival takes place on the day of the summer solstice, when the prayers of her flock can reach Sarenrae the easiest. On this day, Kalesh blooms with color. In each corner of the Padisha Empire, the people praise their goddess by dancing and singing, setting off fireworks and flying kites. I hope this beautiful custom shall one day reach your lands as well. I've heard enough about Sarenrae. What brought you to these lands? I've heard rumors. They say these lands are cursed, and the curses are growing stronger, as if something is granting them power. I could not ignore such rumors. What curses are you talking about? Tristan cocks his head to the side in wonder. Do you not see? Every word uttered in the heat of an argument turns into a prophecy here, just waiting to fulfill itself. And if it were only for the people, the land itself is seething with curses, so ancient their origin are impossible to trace. Take the abandoned temple of Erastil, where we met. What happened to it? What force compelled the priest to leave such a magnificent temple behind to the whim of nature? Will we ever know? I myself was nearly slain by beasts. Fortunately, he came along, following Jod, and saved me. I owe you a great debt. You've come a great distance indeed. Tristan laughs heartily. When you look at it that way, then yes, but please do not think that I came all the way from Kalesh because of mere curiosity. I was wondering long before that. It is a custom of our faith. The farther our path takes us, the more people we may help. Why did Jod see you in his premonition? Sarenrae see all the good gods and goddesses as her allies. Many have fought alongside their goddess against the menace of Ravagog, Erastil among them. By offering my prayer to Sarenrae, I let her know of my misfortune in the Temple of the Elk. The merciful goddess did not ignore my plea, but whom could have asked for aid than Erastil, whose faith is strong in these lands? Erastil had sent Jod a sign, and you came just in time to rescue me. Tristan sighs. To tell the truth, I was certain my journey was at an end, and those creatures were to be the death of me. You spend much time here. What do you think the future holds for these lands? These are cruel lands. As I came here, I bore witness to much pain and suffering, but I've seen equal kindness among those seeking to protect themselves and their loved one. The people of the Stolen Lands are resolute and true to themselves. I admire their strength. Alas, I do not know yet what power the curses that flourish in this land, but I swear I will not leave until we have the answer and the means to cleanse them. You must forgive me for not swearing on Sarenrae's name, but as of late I have troubled the goddess too much as it is, and it would better serve her through action of prayer. You called yourself the Chosen of Sarenrae. What did you mean by that? Sorry, that was a mere jest. Other acolytes of my temple used to tease me with that title. This should tell you how pious and devoted I was compared to them. And yet my faith is strong. Sarenrae knows this and protects me in times of great peril. If something ever threatens my life, by her divine power I'm transported to a safe location. So he's exactly like Lindsay. Lindsay is the same. Interesting. Lindsay is the exact same. She just teleports. And she follows Cheryl. Cheryl? Anyway, she follows the goddess of love. So that's interesting. They both have like their little quirks there. Leave, I don't want... No. I should go. Tristan bows his head. A pleasure. Well, great. That was interesting. Oh, there's a bar here. Look at that. Okay, I want to enter this building. And there's a bunch of buildings in here, man. I don't even know what these are. Into the house. To the Capital Tavern. Into the house. Into the house. Area exit. There's a bunch of different houses. I don't know what's in there. Just a random citizen. I'm gonna steal your shit because I'm the leader of the place.
Onwards.
I'm your baroness. All your bases belong to me, essentially. Let's go to the bar. That's a big bar. With a big loading screen for the big bar. That's where Emiri is. Obviously. Love it. What does this say? Scattered ink stains suggest that Lindsay may have spent some time here. Oh man, this is cool. Oh. Hello. I'm gonna loot this, if you don't mind. Thank you. Someone carved a body poem about the origin of the name of the Stag Lord. Okay.
It is done.
Ah. Some random food in there. Yep, I'll take that. Do the fish. What if Emiri has anything to say? Oh, hold on. The Beer Mug Inn. Wow, what a nice name. Behind the inn's bar stands a young woman with curly red hair, a round face, and rosy cheeks. She gives you a friendly smile, fixing her cap. It's so nice of you to stop by, Your Grace. I'm Melina, the innkeeper. Tell me about yourself. I'd be happy to, Your Grace. I'd love to talk especially about myself. Okay, well, where are you from? What land? Which family? I hail from the River Kingdoms, our tomb to be precise. I'm from a farming family, like just about everybody from around there. There's more fertile land and pasture there than anywhere in the River Kingdoms, except for maybe 7 arches. The folks who grow crops and tend cattle are well respected there, but at the same time they live in constant danger. There's too many bad people, too lazy to work all day, but don't mind taking other people's things. Why did you decide to become an innkeeper? I was bored. Please don't get me wrong. I was fine at Father's Farm. And I've got nothing but respect for farmers' work. But in our backcountry, you could go half a year without seeing one new face. No news, nothing happening. I've dreamt of working at an inn since I was a child. That's the kind of place where there's always lots of guests and stories. Where does the inn's name come from? Oh, don't ask. It's too funny. I kept thinking about one name to pick, choosing just the right one, but not one to waste time. I drew a beer mug on the door. I figured folks would just see it and come on in. So the locals got used to calling the place the Beer Mug Inn, so the name stuck. That's super cool. That is so cool. Okay, tell me about the River Kingdoms. A month ago would be... a month wouldn't be long enough to tell it all, Your Grace. Each kingdom is a special place all its own. Elves live in one of them. Another one half of the country belongs to the Murderers Guild, and the other half gives them their orders. They say they even get locals discounts. There's just one thing that unites us all, like a strong thread keeping a quilt together. It's the 6 river freedoms. Okay, what the hell is that? Yes, the first freedom. Say what you will, I'll live free. It doesn't mean you won't get beaten up for what you say, though. The second freedom. Well, if you can call it a freedom, Oathbreaker dies. Those who break oaths will get killed just like that, so people prefer not making any oaths at all. The third freedom. Walk any road, float any river. Once the ruler of Abar decided to build a gate across the river and collect a fee from each passing boat, well, there's no more Abar. The fourth freedom is even worse than the second one. Courts are for kings. Whatever a king says goes, well, as long as he doesn't say to build a gate across a river. Now for the fifth, slavery is an abomination. Nothing to explain there. Runaway slaves from all over come to us for a reason. And the sixth, you have what you hold. It means that theft is a much worse crime than robbery, if you catch my drift. You can honestly beat a robber and keep what's yours, but a thief acts on the quiet. Shame on him. That's just disrespectful. That's so weird. Okay. Thank you. Show me what you got. Oh, camping supplies. Great. We'll buy that eventually, soon. Not yet, though. Amiri! What's up? Oh, the lady you can purchase stuff from. Hey, Chief! Amiri gives you a broad grin. What's on your mind? So, I'm the chieftain of your new tribe. What do you expect of me? Tribes always must have plenty of food. Tribes' enemies must be tough, not some easy scum. Tribes' fighters must challenge the strongest enemy. Also, well, Amiri contemplates deeply. You must rule the tribe, make big decisions. She waves her hand vaguely. So have you proven yourself to be a mighty warrior? I may have. The trial is finished, and if someone ever doubt me, I prove it. Amiri shakes her fist at the unseen offender. Okay. I love Amiri so much. I want to know, regarding your story, what happened in Renchurch? Oh, here we go. The elf utters a gloomy sigh. You've dealt with the Stag Lord, so I'll tell you my story. I hope it will make you think twice about looking for any more trouble. We were attacked by the undead, skeleton zombies, but that wasn't the worst. What filled me with terror was the invisible dark entity crawling among the stones. This thing was driving us crazy, literally. Jackason rushed to a stone statue and beat it until he broke all his fingers. After that, there wasn't much use for his magic wand, though the poor fellow never gave up trying to help us. Barbaton fell behind when we began our retreat. The last time I saw him, he was squatting over a heap of carrion, gorging himself and sobbing like a newborn all the while. I swear by Pharasma. Tears glint in Anoriel's eyes. Voltar called to his god, and a ray of light shone forth, sending the vile creatures running. I almost believed for a moment that we had a chance. Anoriel catches her breath and starts to talk faster. That part was the worst. It seemed like we could get out if we could just make it a little farther. But then the zombies overwhelmed Voltar like a tidal wave. Gothry lost her mind. She scrambled up a staircase, whispering the words of a children's song and screaming in terror. She jumped from the tower to escape whatever ghost was tormenting her. The fall maimed her, but she survived. And after all this, I was alone. The darkness closed in over me. When I came to my senses, we were all in cages, all of us except for Vermelt. He was free, unscathed, and extremely pleased with himself, and the undead were under his command. Anoriel clenches her fists. The bastard betrayed us from the very beginning. He decided to keep those damned books for himself. Edrisant wasn't his friend, but his competitor. Vermelt staged his death and went to find books while we fought off the undead. He used us as fodder, and those who survived were to become sacrifices for his ritual. We were betrayed by the one we trusted most. How did you escape Vermelt's trap? It doesn't matter now. All that matters is that I put the Pathfinder's life behind me after that. Anoriel gives you a piercing look. You don't need to hear this, Baroness. At least not yet. Damn it! Another part of the story we don't know yet. Okay. That's fine. What's up there?
No stopping now.
Oh, Jadal. Hey. Oh, it's locked. Two new books. Can a mortal become a god? Is the very idea blasphemy? Science relies on experience where there might be evidence presented in support, but when science encounters theology, it recoils. The term evolution has no application to the divine spark that illuminates dull matter in incomprehensible ways. The foremost example is angels, to whom we owe the existence of our virtuous mortal souls, which brings us to a paradox. A mortal soul transforms into an immortal essence. There are many such breathtaking events, which each promise a connection to the divine. Sunny Serenray is perfect proof of this. The Starstone trial desecrated divinity, turned it into a god's exam, where any trickster with a handful of spells who can avoid some traps in a deadly maze may rise to divinity. Is the nature of divinity, then, so sacred indeed? Notes of a Traveling Priest. Imagine this, a girl whose name I shall... Oh yeah, we've read that before. Yeah. Interesting. The same book twice. This is the first time we have a book 2 times. Nope, it's fine. Oh. I mean, we'll sell those. Chronicles of Blade. The history of Roslan is known for its many mysteries. One of them is the history of Baron Syrian I. Syrian was a furious fighter, although not highly skilled. There were malicious rumors that he fled to Roslan to hide from the sneering public after he'd lost dozens of duels in his homeland. But his new home greeted him with yet more misfortune. He waged not a fistful of coins, but a whole settlement in a duel with a gang chieftain, but the Baron was broken again, and left Roslan in shame. He dropped off the map for several long years, and quiet anonymity changed him completely. Not only did he return home bearing a new name, Syrian Eldori, but he had also acquired a new gift. He no longer had any equal in sword fighting. Syrian challenged the chieftain who had once disgraced the young Baron, and slew him in the blink of an eye. Afterwards, he announced a reward for 100,000 gold coins to anyone strong enough to defeat him in battle. Wow. Cool. Battle in the Valley of Fire. Argon was knocked flat. He laid gasping arms spread, a lump of rage rising in his throat. He remembered his dream. Black soil, red ravens in the empty sky, their coarse croaks ringing in his ears like a taunt. Corel would never take Roslan. Never. Aldori sprang to his feet as if the blood-soaked soil was driving him forward. With a cry of rage, the Sword Lord rushed into the battle. The sky turned scarlet with blood as he furiously chopped off his enemy's head. The scarlet horizon drew closer, and its roar nearly drowned out the sound of battle. Argon looked at the sky, and a fiery blast descended upon him. These were no ravens that circled above him. The fearsome breath of the red dragons of Corel melted the soldier's armor and turned living flesh to ash and dust. Wow. And this one we already got. We got it at the beginning of the game. Interesting though. Locked. Okay, we've read that before too. That sucks though, because I'll never be able to open them. Because when I'm walking around, I don't have, like, I'm not with my team, so I don't have like Lindsay to try and open doors or Octavia. I'll never be able to open these doors. Interesting though. All right, let's keep exploring. That's the statue to a god, right? It's not me. No, it's a god. I think.
It is done.
Arsino, Ryu. A woman in rich gold embroidered clothes greets you with a polite bow, her eyes the color of molten gold, shine brightly in her dusky face. Greetings, noble ruler of these lands. My name is Arsinoe. I'm a messenger from the temple of Abadar in Absalom, and I came here assuming the citizens of your young barony could use the service of a priest. Abadar. God of cities. Oh yeah, that's right. Tell me about Abadar. With pleasure. Abadar is the god of cities, law, merchants, and wealth. The core of his teachings is simple. Law and order allow civilization to develop, which allows people to live in peace and prosperity. If Erastil favors old customs, small settlements, and simple trades like hunting, then Abadar patronizes development, complex trades, order, and entrepreneurship. Each priest of Abadar finds something personal in serving him. Some believe that law is the main aspect of their faith, and they guard it zealously. Others put the well-being of their society above all. I personally follow Abadar's teaching to say civilization must penetrate the wildest savage lands and help people live in comforts and safety. You're an Aasimar, if I'm not mistaken. I suppose it's easy to tell, isn't it? Yes, I'm an Aasimar, though I'm not sure how or when the blood of Celestials appeared in my family. Among all my relatives and known ancestors, I'm the only one who inherited it. I must admit I'm glad this slot fell to me. It draws more attention to me, a useful trait for a priest who wishes to gather a congregation. How did you come to be in my barony? That's a long story and not a terribly exciting one. I was born and raised in Absalom, but I saw little point in staying there. What's the purpose in promoting the faith of Abadar in a city already so large and well developed? No, I was drawn to backwater places where civilization was just beginning to emerge. It gives me such joy to see the first stones of a new settlement being laid, or to see wilderness that once harbored monsters and criminals become a safe, cozy home for people. I've devoted my life to my travels, choosing to visit places like your barony. Allow me to say it's a place after my own art. A city growing over the remains of a bandit lord's lair is exactly the sort of triumph of civilization Abadar prescribes. I hope my skills as a priest will be of service to these lands and their denizen. You're so eager to help the citizens. Why do you charge for your service? It's part of Abadar's philosophy. The rules of trade and exchange developed for a reason. They help bring order to our world, and they mustn't be broken without need. The opportunity to get what one desires for no effort has a corrupting effect on souls. Well, I could use an help of a cleric. This is precisely why I'm here. And she sells stuff. Okay. Interesting. Really interesting. Okay, cool. A vendor. Verdal. A young dwarf, red-haired, neat, and surprisingly clean-shaven, stands leaning against a sledgehammer. He's busy reading some books, but as you approach, he looks up and bows slightly. Greetings, Your Grace. I am Verdal, a blacksmith. What can I do to help you? Tell me about yourself. What is there to tell, Your Grace? I'm a blacksmith. My father was a blacksmith, my grandfather was a blacksmith, and his grandfather too. Besides, every one of them were remarkably fertile, so I've plenty of cousins, second cousins, third cousins, and all of them are blacksmiths too. Pretty much all the weapons in Maivan were forged by someone from our family. That's why I moved away from the old home grounds. My skills are more useful here, that's for sure. You look a little unusual for a dwarf. Verdal sighs and runs his fingers through his hair. You expect to see a beard, eh? No offense, but what's the point of a beard? Especially when you're a blacksmith and working with fire. You burn it once, dip it into lightning oil, and catch a spark from the forge, and your beard is history. You're better without one. What are you reading? Verdal looks a little confused. Well, different things. It's nice to take a rest with a good book. Just now it's Valor and Honor, 10 Adventures of the Splendid Willis Gunderson in Absalom. Okay, I'll see your goods. As your grace wishes. Oh shit, guys. Here we go. No. Adamantine is extremely strong and favored by weapon and armor smiths alike for its ability to cut through solid barriers with ease and endure heavy blows. Armor made from adamantine grants its wearer a damage reduction of 1 if it's light armor, and 3 if it's heavy armor. Adamantine is so costly that weapons and armor made from it are always of masterwork quality. The masterwork cost is included in the prices given. Thus, adamantine weapons and ammunitions have a +1 enhancement bonus on attack rolls, and the armor check penalty of adamantine armor is lessened by 1 compared to ordinary armor of its type. I want it so much. Oh, It's so expensive though. I can't definitely purchase it, but oh, bro. Mithril? Mithril is a very rare, silvery, glistening metal that is lighter than steel, but just as hard. When worked like steel, it becomes a wonderful material from which to create armor and is occasionally used for other items as well. Most mithril armor are one category lighter than normal for purposes of movement and other limitations. Heavy armors are treated as medium, and medium armors are treated as light, but light armors are still treated as light. This decrease does not apply to proficiencies in wearing the armor. Spell failure chances for armors and shield made from mithril are decreased by 10%. Maximum dexterity bonus are increased by 2, and armor check penalties are decreased by 3. Wow. Dude, that is insane. That is nuts. You can get that and have you still retain your plus 3 dexterity? Bro. That's just ridiculous. Wow. Oh, hold up. I mean, my dexterity bonus is plus 0. That doesn't matter. But she's got plus 1, which she gets with that. So it doesn't matter. Dude, adamantine armor would give us the like a DR, like an increased DR. It's
no
crazy.
stopping now.
Kasuf. You see a dark-skinned, witty man, wivey man with a